Hey guys, today I'm going to be taking this sort of plain HTML file. It's just regular HTML and CSS, not a whole lot going on here. I'll just show you what that looks like in Dreamweaver. Um, so very basic HTML code. I didn't do anything crazy, and it's linked up to my CSS file, which looks like this. Okay, there's 70 lines of CSS. This is just a regular HTML file that you might create normally, and you want it to maybe be your theme for your WordPress blog or something like that. So today I'm going to be taking this HTML file and turning it into a template that we can use uh, as our WordPress blog theme. So what I'm going to be using today is I have this document I've created that has some different things you need to know to create a theme. And I'm just going to start here and talk about just some of the basic things that you need to know. So what is a WordPress theme? Well, we already, when you create a regular HTML site, you essentially set it up the same way, hopefully, as you would creating a WordPress theme. You would maybe have a folder, and in it you would have your CSS file, and you would also have HTML pages. Well, you do the same thing with a WordPress theme, but instead of using HTML pages, you're going to be using PHP files, which are basically the same thing, but they're going to contain PHP tags, so we just need to give it, instead of the HTML extension, we'll use PHP extension. But it's essentially going to be the same thing. So we can take our sort of static HTML page that we've already used and just change the extension, and it already will sort of have a theme set up uh, like almost the way we need it. So if you have, for example, I'll just back up into my theme. If we have a look at sort of the files I've already created for my static HTML page, I have an index.html file. I have a style.css file, and that's pretty much what we need to get going on this. So what I'll do to start off is I'll create on my desktop here a folder for my theme, and I'll just call it super plain. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'll copy these same files that I created for my regular web page, and I'll copy them over into my super plain directory. And this is going to be the sort of like what we just looked at, our folder for our theme. And so what I need to do first is I'll just change this to PHP. So this will be the sort of main template file. And I'll just say OK. And I'm just going to open this up in the style.css up in Dreamweaver, because we need to make a modification to that as well. So if we go on to the next page in my document, we talk about style.css and what it is. Well, it's a regular style sheet, just the same way we normally have set up. But it also, in order to use this as a theme, we need to put a sort of comment block at the top of our style.css file. And by the way, it needs to be called style.css. It can't be called anything different. So if you have your style sheet named anything else, just rename it to style.css. So I'm going to copy this comment block up here, and this needs to go at the top of my CSS file for my theme. And you can see that this has some different information about your theme. You know, you would probably want to change this from my theme to like super plain, or whatever you want the name to be, and the description to be my really plain theme, or whatever. You can change that to whatever it needs to be. So I'll save that, And I'm also just going to open up, while I'm here, I'll open up my index.php file. And just so I have that open. Okay, so this is still our plain HTML file. Um, Really, all we did was we changed the extension to PHP so that WordPress will be able to read this as a theme file. So we're not going to change a whole lot to this yet. Um, Essentially, we have almost everything we need to use this as a theme already. Um, but let's talk a little bit about where we need to put this in order to use this as a theme in WordPress. So on the next page, or we'll scroll down rather, um, and down to this page, uploading your theme. So we need to know where would we put this theme if we wanted to use it as a theme in our WordPress blog. Well, when WordPress is set up on your web server, all your themes are put in a folder. This is going to change depending on where you set up WordPress. So these squiggly lines, WordPress, that's going to be wherever your WordPress blog is set up. And within that, you're going to have a folder called WP-content, and within that, you're going to have a folder called themes. So in this example below, in this sort of picture you see, I have my WordPress blog as blog.atom.co. That's the folder on my web server that I have the WordPress set up in. And then within that, you can see I have my WP content folder, and inside that, I'll have my themes folder. So inside the themes folder, you're going to have maybe a few different themes in there. So we need to actually find this WP content/themes folder, and that's where our theme is going to go on our web server. So I'm going to just have a look at my web server and where I want to put this. So my blog is set up in this public HTML/atom.co/test blog, and I'm just going to navigate to my themes folder, WP content, themes. Okay, and you can see that I have a few different themes in here. So what I want to do is I'm going to create a new folder on my web server for my theme. So I'll create a new folder up here, and I'll just call this super plain. So this should match whatever the folder name of the folder you created on your desktop. You remember I made one called super plain there. And so I'll create that folder. Okay. And that had a little hiccup there. That's okay. Created that folder, and within it, there'll be nothing. But we're gonna set up Dreamweaver to sync our folder on our desktop that has our theme files, and automatically put them inside our super plain theme folder on our web server. So let's do that. I'm going to open up Dreamweaver again, and I'm going to create a new site and just link the local folder to the one on my desktop, which is super plain. Okay, so that has all my my theme files in it, and I'm just going to change this to super plain theme so that I can remember that this is the site that has my theme in it. And in the web servers, this is going to be really important. We want to link this up to the folder we just created on our web server. So you're going to need to know your FTP details. Mine is atom.co, and you're going to want your username and password. And the root directory, if we just go back to where we were on my file manager, you can just copy this directory path right here. If you've navigated to your theme folder, just copy that full path, and you can put that as your root directory. So that will, if we test this, It should say Dreamweaver connected to your web server successfully. And I'll just hit save and save again. Okay, so now if I hit this put button, it should put my my theme into the folder on my web server. So I'll say OK. And now if we have a look in our WordPress dashboard under the appearance panel, you should be able to now see, if I refresh this, it is automatically detected because we put our theme in the themes folder on our web server, and also added that information into our style.css. You remember we did that, put that information about our theme. WordPress will now automatically find all that information from the CSS file and be able to detect that that is a theme that we put in our theme folder, and we can now activate that or preview it or do whatever we need to do. Now, one thing you should know about this theme is that we haven't actually done really anything to the HTML file in order to be able to display content dynamically or anything like that. So if we preview this, it's going to look a little broken. So let's hit preview. You know, we're seeing our static HTML file basically because we didn't change. It's still very static. We haven't added any dynamic WordPress tags to it or anything. And we haven't dynamically linked to our style sheet, so it isn't able to find our style sheet correctly yet. But this is very easy to actually change now that we have all that set up, and we can look at how to do that in a second here. And in fact, let's just activate this theme and see what it looks like on my blog right now. So we've just activated that theme, and if we visit the site, it's going to look horrendous, but we do have basically a theme working. It's just there's not a whole lot going on yet. So let's go back into Dreamweaver and start changing our HTML or our index.php template a little bit to allow this to look a little better. So I'm just going to, we need to add, for example, a dynamic style.css tag so that it automatically links to the style sheet in our template directory. Down in my document, we have how to link the CSS. And basically, all we need to do is, rather than use this static style.css, this is what you're probably used to seeing. What we're going to have inside of it is a dynamic PHP tag that will automatically find the style.css within our theme directory. So I'll copy this, and I'm just going to paste this where our style sheet is currently. Okay, and if we let's just click into the design view in Dreamweaver, you'll notice that that breaks what we're seeing in Dreamweaver, and that's because now Dreamweaver can no longer find the style sheet because it doesn't really understand that WordPress tag. One way to get around this, what you can do is, rather than pasting on and just replacing that, you can hit enter and actually have a second CSS tag to link to the dynamic one. And what this will do is, if it doesn't find this one, it will find WordPress will use this one, and Dreamweaver will use this one. Essentially, is what's happening. So now we can still see what's happening and make changes as we please. So now if we save this index.php and upload it, we should be able to now see all the styles are working correctly, because now if we inspect this with Firebug, you'll see that it doesn't have this style.css, it's not trying to link to the one in the same folder. It's actually linking directly to the one inside our theme directory, which is exactly what we need it to do. And this one is just so that we can edit it within Dreamweaver. So the next thing we need to do is we maybe want to have this link to all the pages in our WordPress installation rather than just these static links. Maybe we want these to be all the links, all the pages that we've created inside WordPress. So what we can do is use a WordPress tag, a WordPress template tag. The one we'll use is this list pages. So this will list all the pages within our WordPress that we've created. So I'll copy that. And I'm just going to paste this where I have all my links currently. So I'll paste that. And if I save this, in Dreamweaver we'll no longer see obviously our links there anymore because that's not what's there. It's a dynamic. These are going to be dynamic links now, and WordPress is going to display them dynamically based on whatever we have inside WordPress. So I'll upload that and let's just see what happens. If I refresh this, so right now you can already see that this is showing all the pages that we've created in our WordPress blog. It's just I only have the one set up currently. What I want to do though, because this is actually, you can see it has a little bullet beside it. That's because what's happening here is it will nest each link inside of a list item. And that's just sort of the way WordPress works, is it will nest all your links inside of list items because the sort of standard format is to have everything inside lists. So we're going to need to make a couple changes to our CSS file to allow for this. And we're also going to want to wrap our template tag inside a UL. So let's do that first. We'll put it inside a UL. So now all our list items will be inside of our unordered list, which is basically what we want. And in my style.css, I just want to create a style that makes it so that we don't have bullets beside all our links, because that's not what we want. So I'm just going to put UL, comma, UL space LI. And for this style, this is just going to reset all the lists on our page. So I'm going to say list style none. If I save that, and I also want all the list items inside nav to be floated to the left, just the same way our navigation links are currently. So I'll upload both my files here, and we should see now. Oh, there's one other thing we're going to want to do. We should see now that we have our nicely formatted list, and there's no longer any bullets on it. The other thing we need to do to our list rule here, this one we created, is we don't want to have any padding or margin on it. Okay, so I'll upload that. So now our list, we follow that same format that WordPress has outputted. It's just we were able to format it the same way as as we originally had it. So we can now go to we can now go into our WordPress blog, for example, and if we add more pages, we'll add a new page. Contact me. So I'll publish that page, and when I do that, we get my page automatically showing up here. And same thing with deleting it. If I want to go back to my pages and maybe delete that page that I just created. Now these changes are automatically reflected on this page. The other thing we're not doing currently is we don't have it displaying the content of the pages. All it's doing is spitting out the original HTML that we had there. So what we want to put here is the WordPress loop so that it displays the content of the page. You'll see if we navigate to our sample page, we do in fact go to that page, but it's not showing the content of the page because we haven't put a place in our template, our index.php, for that content to go. So let's do that next. Basically what we want to do is in our index.php we want to replace essentially all this this content here, everything from our h1 down to our paragraph, everything inside our content div here. So I'll delete that, and instead of having all that text, what I want to have is my if we look at our PDF file or document, I want to copy this WordPress loop, this sample loop. And basically what this is going to do is display the content of whatever page you're looking at. And I'll just show you quickly and explain what this is. You can see that it's going to format the title inside of an h1 tag. Now we could put that inside of whatever tag we wanted, but because we originally had it as an h1, this is going to work perfectly, and it will format it the exact same as we had it. And then it's going to spit out the content, and that's probably going to be like a bunch of paragraphs or whatever it might be, depending on whatever page you're looking at. So if we save that now and upload it, we should be able to refresh this, and you can see that it's now displaying the content of our sample page. And we can go back home to our WordPress blog. You'll see that it's displaying. This will what it will do on your index page is it will spit out up to however many posts you have it set to show inside your admin panel. It will display, X number of blog posts, and then for each page that you look at, it will show the content of the page. So if I go and create another page again, we'll say news. Okay, so I'll publish this page, and it should show up in my navigation, news. So I should now be able to link to that page, and we can see the content of my page. So there's lots of other tags you can use, and I have just a few of them listed out right here. For example, Actually, there's one that's not listed here that you might want to use that we can put in the H1 of our blog up here where it says super plain. We can put this. It looks basically the same as this one. We'll say blog info name. Okay, so that's what that tag looks like. And you'll see that if I save this and upload it now, I should be able to refresh it and it will put the blog name, whatever the name of your blog is, right there. And there's lots of other ones. This is just a few of them that you might want to use. But this should get you going and give you an idea of how simple it can be to start creating a WordPress theme just from scratch or from a basic HTML page.